My name is Theodorus. That's my full Greek name. People call me Theo, but I prefer Theodorus, and also known as the real sick bitch of Melbourne. Yes. So I come from. I'm first generation Greek Australian, and my parents moved here in the 80s. They were the last of all the Greeks. Um, and we grew up in the western suburbs of Melbourne. I grew up in St. Albans. And I swear to God, when you grow up in St. Albans as a gay guy and survive, you can do anything. Trust me. Um, I never did well in school because, I got bullied so much for being gay. I mean, I didn't know that I was, but everyone would call me gay and stuff like that. So I left school pretty early and what's it called? I went on to explore the real world. You know, I I at around like 16, I got into like work and all that, and I thought that would be my escape, where like I wouldn't have to deal with bullies. But then I found out that adults are just even more fucked up. You know what I mean? Like full grown ass people were bullying me in my workplace, like parents. Um, and that's when I started to notice my depression really happening. I was around like 18 and all that. Man, and then I got involved with really bad stuffs. Maybe I'll go into that a bit later. I don't want to go into that now. But yeah, I kind of like lost myself along the way. I didn't really know gay people growing up. So like I thought gays only existed on TV. I never knew anyone gay, never met anyone gay, and I thought gay men were like just half naked people, really muscly and shit. So I felt like I was doing gay completely wrong because that's what you see on TV. And I thought I could never know people like this. I could never fit in. And it's funny how life has turned out because somehow I kind of popped off on like social media just for being myself. And all of a sudden, you kind of get known in the community. And I'm like, I'm not one of those big muscle bitches. And like, fucking, I don't know, popular and all that, like just because of my appearance. So that was really nice. It got me places, it got me work overseas. I got a lot of mad shit. My dreams started to come true when I started to be more authentic in myself. You know, at one point I got really lost and I was trying to look like that. So, yeah, here I am today, just being me and getting mad shit out of it. My dreams have come true. So many of my dreams have come true. And a lot of really bad shit has happened in my life. But like at the time I was like thinking, fuck, when all the bad stuff was happening to me, I was like, how am I ever gonna overcome this? I was like, I swear to God, at one point I was so rock bottom, I wanted to end everything. But like I look back now and I'm like, I'm so fucking glad I went through that. It's a big part of who I am, and I fucking love it because it's given me a mad story to tell. And I swear, when I tell people this, like what I've been through, I've had people say like, so many parents, young gays, closeted and all that, say like, because of you, I was able to continue. Like through my DMs, I've had mothers say, I was able to talk to my son because I assumed he was gay and shit like that. And that's so fucking rewarding. I feel like I've made a difference in some people's lives. You know? I found my path. It's great. I love it.
What's something you wish you could tell your younger self?
Okay, there's a lot of things. There's so much is going through my head to tell my younger self because I want to say to my younger self, life's gonna get fucking hard. It's gonna get fucking hard. You're gonna hit rock bottom, um, and because of all the shit you go through, don't be such an asshole to your parents. They're trying their best. They really are. Well, yeah. Well, as they're from the village. There's so much they don't know. Um, they're really uneducated, and I feel like I had to educate them a lot. And that's hard to do as a child. So, there was so much confusion in my life. But like, settle down. That's what I want to say. Calm the fuck down and be in the moment, be present, and enjoy who the fuck you are, you know? Because I hated myself for a long time. And I never got to be myself for a long time. The only time I got to live authentic was in my bedroom. So I wish I could say that to myself. Maybe. Hmm. And fucking save monies, man. You could have done so much more with your life. You know what I mean? I full became broke bitch mountain. Like, I wish I could just tell myself, fucking save. You could have stuffs by now. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I would tell myself. It's gonna get hard, but I wouldn't change what I've been through. I just kind of wish I could prepare myself for it. Yeah.
How did you get through those hard times?
It's funny because when I was young, it's like I was almost stronger. The older you get, the more aware you're of shit. So like I got bullied so much in my life, but I never cried. Well, not that anyone saw. I had this thick skin, I had a wall, and people would just throw shit at me all the time. I mean, and as I get older, now that I'm in my 30s, I think about those times and it affects me more, and I cry a lot about it. It's funny how it's like that, you know? I felt like I was stronger when I was younger. What the fuck? I want to be stronger now, you know? Um, but I guess because I'm so open and honest with my feelings, and that's a sign of strength at the same time, right? It takes a lot of guts to be able to do that. So, yeah, I'm fine. I'm strong.
What was what do you think happened at that point from which you switched from hating yourself to loving yourself? What changed in your life?
There was a lot of things. Okay, so first of all, I didn't know. Okay, so everyone would call me gay, but I didn't know that was a issue. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the fuck gay was. I thought liking men is how it was meant to be. You know, I thought my way was right, and it is right. All these straight cunts are not normal, you know. But that affected me a bit later in life. The thing that affected most of my childhood and my teen years and even my early 20s was being Greek, being wog. I swear to God, because I used to get bullied from this little girl that lived across the street from me. You know, she would come over to my house. She'd want to play with me, but she'd always make fun of like how woggy and Greek everything was in my house. She would actually be like, it stinks like a Greek in here. You know what? You know that used to affect me. I used to get so upset. I'll be like, "What the fuck, man? Like, I don't know how I can change that. I don't know what that means." And she was like white and blonde, and you know, I used to cry about it, and I would talk to my mother about it. Like me and my parents were only communicating Greek because they didn't speak English well. And fucking, my mother would say, "You know what, Thodore? You're gonna go over there and you're gonna breathe really big with your fucking Greek nose, and you're gonna say stinks like Oz in here because of all the kangaroo shit." I was like, yes! I didn't think that at the time, but looking back now, I actually wrote a song about this, you know? I did a diss track. I full released it. Because that wait, am I answering the question? Okay. Um that little girl affected me so much that later on, as I got older and I started clubbing, there was one time I went to the Prince of Wales. Back then, when I started clubbing there, it was they ran a night called One Love, and it was the ultimate club back in the day, right? And I remember queuing up because I knew how sick this club was. Everyone would go on about it. And as soon as I got to the front, there was a fucking blonde white chick checking IDs. I didn't think anything of it then, but she kind of looked me up and down and my fucking Maria friend, and she chucked our ID back and she goes, "Go back to the western suburbs with the wogs." Can you fucking believe this? Imagine if that happened today. She'd get ripped apart. And that destroyed me, that moment. It killed me, the humiliation and all that. And I thought of what that little girl did. It all affects you so much. And I really hated my parents because we were Greek. I hated how Greek they were. I hated how woggy they were. I hated that they spoke to me in Greek. I hate that we always ate Greek food. When we'd go out to restaurants, it was only Greek restaurants. We only associated with Greek people, Greek dancing, Greek this, Greek that. My parents never adapted to the Australian way, you know, of living. I hated it so much, but now I fucking love it. That was a big change. There was a big, I'm like, this is who I am, you know? And I can't change that. I can't change my parents. You know, they're trying their best. I'm trying to educate them as much as I can to open their fucking mind. But this is it. I have to accept it. I only got one shot at this, so I accept that I'm full fucking Greek. You know?
What would you tell other people that are trying to change who they are?
Don't. There's only one you. I know that sounds fucking cliche bullshit, but there, like, people, you have a fucking skill if you can speak another language. You know, Eh, um, you're exotic. You're different. Like, own it. I I think for me, it was like actually when I was talking earlier to you about Anna Vissi, she was performing at the Olympics, Athens closing ceremony, right? Like she was on stage, this Greek woman, and the whole world was watching. It's the Olympics, you know. It's and she owned that stage, and I remember seeing that, and I was like, wow, she's amazing, and she's Greek. And I love that. She's so powerful in this moment. That stage is hers and the whole world is watching. That was a turning point for me. That, like, she kind of helped me be proud of that. And when I met her, I told her that. I told her, okay, because of you, I'm really proud to be fucking Greek, you know? And yeah, find your idol in your you know, wherever you come from. Like, you know, that's someone you can look up to and really admire. They can make a difference in your life. You don't know.
What was your journey with self-expression like?
Hmm. Well, I don't actually know. I feel like it took a long time. I when I left like the hairdressing world and all that, that was my first job, and where like all these adults were kind of like really funny around me, and I kind of got involved with people my age after, and they were all girls. And I was the only gay guy, and they really thought I was funny and shit. And for once in my life, I was like, wow, people are actually laughing at my jokes. I thought they were lame. And then people started to enjoy being around me. And I found that at one point it was a little bit overwhelming because I wasn't used to it. I was always by myself as a kid. And yeah, like I just saw how these girls carried themselves. You know, they were. I got a job in the city with them doing retail, and they just seemed to say whatever the fuck they wanted. And I used to get offended with a lot of shit they would say, but I was like, you know what? This is actually mad. Okay, they're saying whatever the fuck they want. I feel like getting out of like that St. Albans community where I was growing up as a gay guy, and then working in St. Albans with these adults and all that shit. When I kind of left that behind and moved on into the city and met people from all around Melbourne, that's when I realized I'm allowed to be me. You know, people are not as close minded as they were back then growing up in the suburbs. So slowly it started to happen. And, you know, MySpace was a thing back then, and you kind of build a profile, and I kind of built a persona on there, and I was like kind of expressing myself through that. So like yeah, the socials kind of helped with that too, I must say.
Did you feel accepted by those around you when you were younger?
Nah, no way.
Even your family?
Yeah, some family members have been funny with it. You know, my parents are cool now with it, but I remember I look back at my childhood and I remember conversations they would have talking about me, and I don't think they're aware that I heard these things, and they were kind of against it, and I was like thinking, "Fuck," in my head, you know, as a kid, like I'm a problem to them. Like this is something that's gonna destroy them at some point. I remember mentally preparing myself in my teen years to like run away from home when I was gonna come out, because I was like, "Fuck, I'm Greek and gay," you know. Um, it's like that's the worst thing you can do to hurt your parents. Two things. Have I told you this before? Two things a Greek son can do to hurt his parents: do drugs or be gay. And you know, I had to pick my poison. I picked the both. No, you know what I mean. It's just like I didn't feel accepted, and I was scared. I was scared to death. You know, I remember like I have this older half brother, and like I would act pretty gay when I was young, and he'd say shit like, you worry me and stuff like that. And I was just like thinking, oh fuck, what am I doing that's like not right here? I was really scared how to act. And you know how I said I went into the workplace, and like I even dealt with adults then who had a problem with it. And this is when I was like 18, you know? So I was always just, I felt like some sort of rejection from people. Um, yeah. Oh my God. But you know what? Are you Jehovah's Witness? Oh, okay. So like where I worked in this salon, like 80% of the clientele were Jehovah's Witness. And they all had a problem with the fact that I was gay. All of them. I swear to God. And I was just like, this is bullshit. One woman, I'll never forget her. I know her full name. I'm not gonna say it, but you don't forget your bullies, you just don't forget these assholes. And she told me that she hates gays as I was doing her hairs. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she was just like looking at me in disgust. And she's like, I never want to see you dressed like this next time I come in. She didn't want me to do her hairs. The thing is, she would ask me questions. She'd want to know about the gay world and then tell me how much she hates it. And she has kids of her own, this bitch. Like, I, anyway, she said, I hate gays because of my religion. And second, one of my friends died from AIDS from a blood transfusion. And I'm thinking, hang on, aren't you fucking Jehovah's Witness? You guys don't do this blood transfusion bullshit. You know what I mean? She was full of shit, man. She was full of shit. But and then she goes, you guys go into toilets at clubs and do disgusting things. I'm like, yeah, it's hot. Fuck. You try rooting in a fucking public toilet. It's fucking amazing. I'll fuck your fucking husband in there. And you can watch, bitch. No, I wouldn't. Oh, well, I wish I could say her name. Oh my God. No, I'm not going to say it just in case she watches and sues me.
What do you wish you could tell her right now?
You're a cunt. Straight out. You're a fucking cunt and you're not getting accepted in the Jehovah's fucking kingdom. Oh my gosh, is that too much? I'm scared they're all gonna come after me. I'm sorry, they believe there's a kingdom that's gonna accept all of them in there. Or some shit like that. And stop fucking knocking on my doors. Fucking hell, man. Next time they knock on my door, I'm gonna fully prepare myself. I kid you not. I'm gonna be full naked, but I'm gonna be bending over with my asshole facing them. And do you know what else? They do really weird seminars, man. They do these weird ass seminars, and they were told back then. I remember her telling me how they had this fucking seminar about MySpace. I'm like, your fucking religion does a seminar about MySpace because there's certain things they can't post and all that. What a fucking shit religion. Sorry. My blood's boiling, I get worked up when I think about the things these assholes did to me. Oh. Sorry. Oh, and do you know what I hate even more? Sorry, I need to keep going. My boss at the time, who I really liked as a human, never did anything to stand up for me when this was happening to me in the salon, in the workplace. Because he was too afraid to lose clients. That is not on. That's full discrimination. I wish it happened to me today. I would have done something about it. I wish it did. I would have fucking taken it to our current affairs, mate. I swear to God. Tracy Grimshaw, full on. True?
Do you ever feel judged by those around you? And how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I do. Even by my own community, I do. It used to affect me a lot, but it's one thing to get judged by people who are not in the community, but when it's your own kind, your like family, that's when it hurts the most. Because it's like we go through enough shit as it is, as gay people. Why the fuck do we need to go against each other? You know what I mean? And it happens a lot. Like, I mean, on social media and all that, people take you on face value and say, you make gays look bad, you give us a bad name, all this bullshit. That's when it hurts the most, but I try and not respond to that. Because sometimes I try and tell myself that they wish they had the freedom that I do. This is why they're judging me and like trying to put me down. they live in fear of being judged themselves, you know? So you just wish you had the freedom I do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. You know, that's your own fucking fault.
Tell me about your journey with mental health.
Oh my God. I'm always like this in my life. Fuck. I I'm actually currently going through something right now. I'm actually doing a lot better, but when I first got back from overseas, I was a fucking mess. And I discovered something new in me that I never knew I had. I actually got panic disorder, and it was a really scary thing. You know, people think they have panic attacks and kind of throw it around loosely. I had a panic attack. No, no, no. A panic attack feels like you're fucking dying. You act everything comes like past and future and present all becomes one, and it's just driving you insane, and you can't breathe. You know, you're pacing up and down like a crazy person. You start to do this, well, I do anyway, because I don't know, the adrenaline is just too much. Oh my God, it was happening to me a lot in Germany because I was really lost in Germany, and I had to learn, I had to teach myself how to deal with that. And believe me, it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to teach myself, but I'm doing it. Um, I've been so fucked up in my life. I've been in a psych ward before. I ended up in, yeah, a psych ward for like a whole month. They put me on antipsychotics so I could just be like this. I was completely numb to everything. I was a fucking zombie. And for months after, because I continued on to taking all the meds they were giving me, I've been on meds like since I was 19. I'm 34 now. I've been on them this whole time, antidepressants. I'm not ashamed about it. You know, there shouldn't be a stigma around that bullshit. Um, I don't think it's safe for me to come off them. You know, but yeah, I am one fucked up individual, but I fucking love being me. I swear to God, I do. I have so many fucking issues. Um, and it takes a real tough person, a really strong person to be with me, you know? And I've managed to find that in my life. So, yeah, look, I'm here to show people that no matter how fucked up you are, you can still live a full functioning life and enjoy who you are, because depression will always be part of me. It's always part of my personality because I go through months of it and then weeks of it. And I just, I do things. I challenge my thoughts. I can still be depressed, but I won't allow myself to spiral, you know? I do this thing. A lot of it is like internal bullshit that I tell myself and like put myself down because of everything I've been through. Like, you're too woggy, you're ugly, you know, you're not good enough, you're worthless, all this shit. Really harsh things. You practice that so much in your brain, it becomes normal, you know what I mean? And you become really fucking negative. And getting up is a struggle. Facing the world is a full battle. And you have made it such common practice putting yourself down. When I say you, I'm talking about myself here, all right? But like maybe anyone else who's like relating to this is what you're fucking doing to yourself. You put yourself down so much in your brain that it's become normal now. And it's actually affecting people around you, and people getting sick of you. You know? They're getting real tired of it because someone would ask me, tell me at least one thing you like about yourself. And I swear to God, I couldn't think of anything for a long time. I go through these stages. I was that low, you know? And I I had to be my own rescue. At the end of the day, you have to be your own rescue. If you want to live a happy life, you have to really, really fucking want it from in here, and you'll do whatever it takes. Because no cunt wants to be depressed. You know what I mean? And when it starts to come on, I can challenge my thoughts. So I kind of vision like I'm in a courtroom and I say, okay, so I need evidence that backs this thought, and then I need evidence that goes against that thought. And I write them down, and you'd be fucking surprised how much goes against it. You know, it's just, you gotta, the same way you built your muscle in the brain to think negative, you gotta build it up to think fucking positive. It's like when you train a muscle, you know? You go to the gym, you fucking build that shit. Oh, look, hustle and the struggle is the only thing I'm trusting. Fucking hell, that's a lyric from an Iggy Azalea song, and I can't stand her. Anyway, that's full demolishment. So yeah, you build that muscle. It's like building a muscle. It's the same thing in your brain. That's what I do with my mental health. So yeah, I say that now confidently and all that, but I'm waiting. Maybe in the next few months, I'll end up in another fucking episode and go crazy.
How do you pull yourself out of those low points?
It gets hard. Some I do one thing. I do one thing at a time. One small step. Because it gets so hard that you don't want to get up. You know, the windows are closed, no light, no nothing, just in your bed. You don't get up to shower, you don't brush your teeth, you don't eat. So I try and do one thing. So if it's getting up to take that shower, which is fucking exhausting, believe me, it is. But the moment I do it, it takes all my strength and everything to get up and do that. I've achieved so much in that one moment. And it's just, you feel kind of proud of yourself. You're like, fuck, I did one thing that was so hard that I couldn't do for a few days or weeks. You know? That's how I pull myself out. I have to give myself one goal. And I can be in bed for hours and hours and hours telling myself, you're going to take that shower, you're going to take that shower. And it'll get to like 10 p.m. and it's like, fuck, you haven't done it. And you have this awful guilt. You just get up and fucking do it. And I'm just like, wow. All right, now back to bed. You know? So yeah, that's what I do. I give myself one thing to do. And then, you know, the next few days you do two things and then three things. And then slowly you put structure in your life again. You need to put structure, and you need to make sure you're doing things at the same time every day, because then you just feel like you've accomplished something. Yeah.
What are some things that you're really proud of that you've achieved in your life?
Oh my God. All right. Well, I think one of the coolest things about me is that all my idols know me. They know of my existence, but it's not just like they met me once and that's it. No, we actually have interaction, constant, you know, like we know, like when they think of Australia, they know me. They see my fucking head. I know that for a fact. You know, can I list them? Because I love to show off. So there's Anna Vissi, who's like a huge star in Greece. She's like the Greek Madonna. They're like the same age, she just loves me. She loves me so much. She follows me on Instagram. Oh, my idols follow me on Instagram. So there's Anna Vissi. There's Cardi B. Cardi B was, she thanked me for riding with her throughout the good and the bad times throughout her whole career from the very beginning. She kept her promise and like met up with me when she came here. She promised that she'll meet me when I went to New York. She made it happen twice. She fucking licked me. Like, how many people can say their idol licked them? You know what I mean? And I even got to pray with her before she went on stage. Fucking hell. What a moment. And the first person she ran up to after her show was me. And she just grabbed my hands and she was like, and I was just like, this is just too much. But fuck, it was amazing. She calls me Melbourne, by the way, because real sick bitch of Melbourne, but she named me Melbourne. So there's Cardi B. There's New York, Tiffany Pollard. Do you know who she is? Oh, she is like the OG reality TV queen. I didn't give a fuck what anybody says. Flavor of Love. Are you Googling her? Oh my gosh. She does the best TV. She's got the best one-liners. You should look into her. I swear to God, she was a full thing for me. And Also her. I got to meet up with her in LA. She invited me to one of her parties. I got stoned with her. It was amazing. Um, Look, there's more. Oh, Lil Kim. Okay. All right, look. She knows of me. I haven't met her yet, but she's like posted me in her stories a few times. She's liked my comments and shit like that. So she knows there's something there. Trust me, I will meet her. When I want something so bad, I make it happen. And it's gonna happen. 100%. I missed her by 2 days when I was in New York because I was flying out to Berlin the next day and she did a concert 2 days after. Oh my gosh, I could have like totally performed there because it was at a gay club. I could have reached the promoter and be like, listen, fucking, you need me and I need to meet her. But anyway, so yeah, look, there's more idols like not that famous, but like I've had great moments with them. What else have I achieved that I'm really proud of? Fuck. What have I done? Come on, don't act like you don't know me.
You've performed on stage, you've rapped, you've made music.
Yeah, look, that was okay. Look, my song "All the Bottoms Getting Mad." The very next day, that reached number 12 on the iTunes dance charts and number 5 in Ireland. Random as fuck, full random. But I had a moment with that song, and to be honest, that song kind of had a moment within the gay community, and like, oh, yeah, okay, listen to this. When I was in America, it was playing on a TV screen in a club, and I was like, okay, like, I was offended that no cunt knew. I'm like, this is me. And do you know what? I even got up on the stage and started doing a little bit, and the security told me to get down. I was like, excuse me? This is my fucking song. You're going to tell the artist to come down? You know? But after when I left, he apologized. He goes, oh, is that you? I'm like, yes, fucking hell. Anyway. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Like, you know, that was a moment. It wasn't like I thought that would happen to me. Oh, okay. This is a really good achievement because I used to do podcasts, right? On my journey on mental health. And it actually helped me get work at the LGBT center in LA. You know, I got to just sit in on like talks and stuff like that and really learn so much. I thought I knew shit about being gay or just like not just gay, just the whole, you know, trans people and everything. I learned so much and I came back with a wealth of knowledge from that experience, you know. I met some of the most amazing people that really touched me and yeah. It was something. Some of them keep in touch with me still and send me like a Christmas card. There was this gay family that like I kind of knew. These two dads, they had 2 kids. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I could be wrong, but the kid is gay, and then they have a trans kid too. You know, and when I met the kid, they were female, but now they're male. And when they sent me their Christmas card, the kid was a boy now. And it was just like, wow, like, you know, I can't believe this. Like, I only met you like a few times, but you're so kind to send me this. Like, those are great achievements in my life, you know? To know I've left an impact or an impression on someone like that, that they want to send me a card from, I don't know, that's something, isn't it?
What achievements are you working towards right now?
What achievements? I mean, I want to go back overseas. Um, well, okay. I can't believe I don't know.
Yeah, what are your goals?
I mean, there's always like little goals I set for myself, you know? My long-term goals, I actually wrote some down in a book and I gotta look at them. I can't even think of one right now. Um, I, I mean, I've experienced living overseas, but I kind of want to live over there like permanently, you know? I really do. I swear to God, I'm too big for Melbourne. I need to be somewhere. You know, you're nodding. You full agree. Like I need to. I know there's something waiting for me out there, and it's gonna happen. Just timing. So whatever that is, that's my goal. I just know I'm gonna have my full moment at one point, and I think people should believe that in themselves too, that there's something really waiting for them out there. You know, you really gotta fucking find your full potential, whatever the fuck that is. Try and find her. I know for me, it's gonna be overseas somewhere. I'm gonna have a full moment and pop off, and everyone's gonna want this more. Trust me, and just remember my words.
What kind of career are you hoping to have? Like in what industry?
Um, I've always wanted to do something with mental health, and I want to do it for the community, of course. I've always wanted to be a leader of some sort in the mental health industry. I don't know how. Actually, you know what I'd love to do? A fucking TED talk. Can you imagine? Uh huh. Yep. One day I'm gonna do a TED talk. I need to sleep with the president or something. I need to have a full Monica Lewinsky moment, and then I can be like slut shamed and be like, guys, I have his cum on my t-shirt. True. She's one of my idols, by the way. I need to meet her.
Why did you quit weed?
Okay. This is this. Okay. I've been a massive stoner for so much of my life, and it did amazing things for me. I was able to like open my mind in a creative way. You know, whenever I did things, everything I did, I was stoned. You know, when I performed, I was stoned. When I recorded, I was stoned. When I did photo shoots, porn, anything, I was always stoned in my life. And it it used to be a happy thing for me. It really was. But when I ended up in a really bad place in Berlin, it I was it was contributing to my anxiety attacks that led to panic attacks. I kept doing weed. I was like, I think the lockdown was the worst part because I was doing it from morning till night, full punching cones, you know, like no tomorrow. And me and my boyfriend at the time were going hard, and my body just got really used to it. And I started to notice my anxiety coming back, but I didn't think it was the weed. I really didn't. I thought the weed was helping. And sure, it would numb it for a moment, but like a bit later, it would like trigger something, and my anxiety was like heightened or something. I don't know. It was really bizarre. Like I was trying to understand what's going through me, and then I was blaming the meds and all that. And I kept thinking the weed was helping. And I think this is where a lot of people fuck up, where they think it's not the weed that chills me. But nah, man, like after, it does other things to long term use. And yeah, in Berlin, I was going insane. I was having panic attacks from it. And I kid you not, I'm almost 2 months weed free. I cut it cold turkey. I have not had anxiety or panic since. I'm not lying. The moment I mean, you may have I was having a bit of withdrawal, and I noticed I was getting sick and I was coughing and all that. And I really wanted it to calm the fuck down, but nah. Like I said, you gotta really want it in here, build that fucking muscle, and you can do it. Put your fucking mind to it. And I'm not saying I'm gonna quit forever. I mean, I want to do it at some point again because, like, I did enjoy it, but you got to be a strong person before you do it. Make sure you're in a really good place mentally, and don't do it to, like, numb shit out. That's my best fucking advice.
What was your biggest wake up call in life?
Oh my God. This is a long answer. All right. So, I told you I grew up in St. Albans. So, I didn't come from monies. I didn't. My family. My father was working. My mother was a stay-at-home mum, and yeah, you know, like it's not like my father had the greatest job in the world. So we didn't have things growing up. My parents didn't buy us toys and stuff like that, and you know, I didn't have a lot, you know, and I ended up getting a job at Gucci when I was like 24, and I couldn't believe I got the job. I didn't think I would get it. You know, I rocked up to that job interview with a massive fucking hickey on my neck. I'm not kidding. I was disgusting. And I th- I think they were impressed with my knowledge of the history of the brand, and they kind of gave me the job. And the only reason I know the history, let me tell you, is because I'm a big fan of Jackie Kennedy Onassis. And back in the 60s, she would use a Gucci handbag, and they named it after her. The House of Gucci named it in honor of her. So I kind of learnt about Gucci through her. And I used that story at the job interview, and they were really impressed. And at that point, I held the record in Australia for selling the most Jackie bags. Yeah, because I would sell it with passion from the heart, you know? And anyway, so I got a job there, and I never seen rich people before in my life like that. I was dealing with some of the most wealthiest people in Melbourne, and I was more myself too at this point, and they liked me because I brought some personality into that place. It was very intimidating for some people to walk in there, I think, and very boring, very yeah, no, they presented a certain way and were well spoken and all this shit. And then there was me like this, selling to people, and they would laugh and they enjoyed coming in to see me and all that, and I became friends with some. And then they wanted to hang out with me and invited me to really amazing events and shit like that. And I was like changing. So here I am coming from like nothing to like all of a sudden hanging out with these rich fucks. So as soon as Gucci would pay me, I would give my monies all back to Gucci because I had a good discount, and I would like buy all their stuffs and wear it. And I would try and keep up with a certain fucking image that was not authentic, because I couldn't afford it. That got me in so much debt in my life, I started to think I was a somebody, I could only hang out and be seen with these people. I thought I was amazing. And then I would travel to like New York and eat at the most expensive restaurants that I couldn't afford, but everything was going on credit. Every time I had an event, I had to go out and buy designer and be in designer head to toe. I became this fucking fashion gay. Like, at the time I thought I was everything, and I thought everyone was jealous of me. You know what I mean? I wanted to be that bitch that, like, yeah, okay, I don't have a car, I can't drive, but I'm in fucking Givenchy. How pathetic is that? Like, I didn't care. I was like, my outfits were worth more than your life. I swear to God, I used to think like that. And there was a moment when I was in New York City. It was 2014, and I was there in the month of September, and I remember one morning, we turned on the TV and the news was on, and it was just showing. It was September 11. It was the memorial thing and all that, and it was on all over the news, and everyone's making speeches, all these families, and and I remember saying to my friend, hey, I want you to take me there. He was from New York. I go, I want you to take me there. I want to go and take photos because I'm here for the fucking 9/11, day. And he's like, why? He goes, do you know how packed it's going to be? It's going to be so busy, this and that. I'm like, I want to fucking go. So, because I really wanted to go, he goes, we'll go a bit later when it gets a bit quiet. I needed an outfit for this. So I remember going to Barney's in New York City, and I got a Givenchy t-shirt for $1,000, and I got some new Giuseppe Zanotti shoes they were 1,000 something. And I remember buying, at that time, Givenchy did a collection with Bambi on it. I remember buying the pouch, and I bought this just to go there and take fucking photos. How fucking pathetic is that? Think about it. There's all these grieving families there, and I wanted to go and do a fucking photo shoot. Listen, wait, it gets better. So, like, we went there at night, and, there was massive, huge ass light, like, representing the two buildings lit up. It was huge, and there were still people everywhere. And I made my friend take photos of me, and I'm holding the pouch to show that it says Givenchy on it, such a fucking bottom queen. Like, this is how like young bottoms act when they first come out and overdo it with fashion and all that, be overly gay. And I fucking remember there was this woman talking, and there was people like around her listening. There was just people sharing their stories, of people they had lost. And she lost her brother in the building, and she just explained how he left a voicemail, and she had the voicemail still. Oh my god, I freak out. I get goosebumps because this really changed me. This moment, and she goes, that no matter what happened, like, I don't know how she worded it, but it was just like, it was a terrified voice. This person knew they were going to die, right? They just knew they were going to die. And they were saying in the voicemail, um, they were saying, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And if there's anything I ever did to hurt you and mum, I'm really sorry. And it cuts out, and that's it. And she says, at the end of the day, at the end of your life, nothing else matters but your relationship with your family or your loved ones. Because materialistic stuff will not be there for you at the end of the day. Was this bitch fucking talking to me? It was so I felt it was so directed at me. And I was like, oh my God, I felt so sick. I felt sick. I was going to vomit. My whole world came crashing down. I was just like, who have you become? Your parents did not raise you like this. Why? You're in debt. You're an idiot. I just remember catching the train, feeling sick, and as soon as I came back to home to Australia, I sold all my designer. I was getting rid of it. I had this yucky attachment to it. I was like, oh my God. The moment I got rid of all that, all these rich fucks dropped me. I swear they didn't want to hang out with me. Look at me now. I'm wearing I'm wearing this t-shirt that says piggy as fuck. I'm wearing these ripped jeans from Fashion Nova. These were $30 from Fashion Nova. Before, I used to wear an outfit that was almost $3,000. Who the fuck did I think I was? That was a real changing moment in my life, and it took me years and years and years to pay it off. I fully paid off that debt. This was 2014. I paid it all off last year. That's how long it took me. I didn't have not one piece of that clothing or bags or anything.
How much would you say you spent on clothing all up in that designer phase?
I'm so embarrassed to admit it, because that was only like maybe 4 years of my life, and I think my debt was at about 50 grand, and that was on fashion. Oh my God. I didn't care. I didn't give a shit. People can laugh all they want. It was a great lesson. I got something out of it, and I'm glad that experience happened to me, that moment. It was a sign. I swear it was a fucking sign. Yeah. Good story, huh?
Great story. Love that.
I know. I fucking love that story so much. I can say it now and feel proud of myself, but I used to say it when I'd talk about it, I'd start crying a lot because I just felt... I felt the pain of that person and all these people around me, but I was so ashamed of who I became. So self-involved and trying to maintain some social status bullshit of being with these rich fucks who actually didn't give a fuck about me. Everything is appearance-based for them. They want to just buy shit to take photos and post it on the gram.
How do you recover from a heartbreak? It takes time. It takes a long fucking time. The healing process. You gotta be kind to yourself and not blame yourself and focus on a project, That's what I've done. I'm trying to do little things to keep my mind busy, because I don't even know how to fully answer that, because I feel like I'm going through one right now, And, okay,
be around people, be social with close people that you really enjoy. The moment you're by yourself, you're taking two steps backwards because you think and you're like, oh my God, did I fuck up? Why did this happen to me? All this shit. Um, if it broke up, you broke up for a reason. And you're probably missing the idea of the relationship you had, that fantasy of the relationship. You're not missing the relationship because you broke up for a reason. You don't just break up for nothing. So think of it like that. Keep yourself busy and focus on the most important relationship, and that's with yourself. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best to have the best relationship with me.
What's some of the best advice you've ever received?
I didn't receive this one, but I read it on the back of a toilet door. All right? And it said, love many, trust few, paddle your own canoe. How good is that? Right? So yeah, I believe in 5 minute love. I meet someone amazing at a cafe, waiting in line, fucking getting our coffees. We have a really great connection. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I don't not like them. I do not love them. I do love this human. They're amazing. And then that's it. You kind of look back, have a smile. It's like, that's nice. And then trust you. I'm someone who's so fucking open. I tell everyone all my plans, my big projects, and this and that, and then it doesn't happen, and I look like the world's biggest dumb cunt. Keep some things to yourself. Keep some shit private. I gotta learn that. And not everyone always has your best interest. People get jealous. So trust some. And then paddle your own canoe. If you want something so bad, you gotta make it happen for yourself. Don't rely on others. I think that's some great advice right there. So whoever you are that wrote that on the back of a public toilet door in Port Arlington when I was like, I don't know, 8? No, maybe a little bit older. Thank you. I hope you watch this. That has stayed with me ever since. And I don't know, Judge Judy's beauty fades, dummies forever. That's some great advice. Thanks, Judge Judy, for that.
What's something you wish straight people knew about being gay?
How fucking amazing it is. It's like the best thing that's ever happened to me. I swear. If there was a pill that I could take that would say this would make your life easy, you'll be straight from birth and all this bullshit, you won't go through all the heartache and all that, I would never take it. This is the best thing about me. I fucking love being gay so much.
What do you love about it?
It's like, because I couldn't be myself for so long as a kid, that I'm this grown ass man in my 30s, and I'm a child at heart so much because all those years were taken away from me, and I'm just having so much fun in my life. And I see straight people like my brothers, for example. They live a life where they're married, have children, spend the rest of their life paying off a house. Mad. Sorry, no offense. But you're not going to take the house to the grave with you. This is the thing. I feel like a lot of straight people forget to live the journey of their life. Whereas gays, we have so much fun. We have so much fucking fun. I mean, I'm sure the straight people out there like that, of course. But like, I don't know. We make up for the years lost. You know what I'm saying?
Was it difficult to come out to your Orthodox Greek parents?
Yeah. It was. I never came out to my father. I never had a conversation with him about it. But he doesn't know anything about me. He's just like this person who doesn't communicate with anyone. And I was 16, and my parents were going through a bit of a rough patch in their life together, right? And that's when I kind of came out to them. I thought, I'm going to say now that they're going through their own issues so they don't have to focus on mine so much. They'll be like, shut the fuck up. We don't care that you're gay. We've got problems of our own, But I lied. Okay, so my parents, listen to this, okay? So I said, the worst thing a Greek son can do is take drugs or be gay, right? So I was kind of partying and being gay and shit like that. And my mother always had a feeling about it. She's like, he's up to no good. And I swear, she was so strict on me growing up, and I fucking hated her. I blamed the Greek part of her. I'm like, how come all the white kids get all the fucking freedom in the world, and you're so strict with me? I have to be home by this certain time. You have to smell my breath if I've had alcohol. You know, all this shit. She was so strict on me. If she would call me 24/7 on my phone, and I was always embarrassed because my friends would make fun of me because my mother would call me all the time, you know? She'd be like, when are you coming home? Who are you with? What are you doing? Oh my God. I would yell at her so much. I'm like, why do you have to fucking humiliate me like this, you know? And I feel like she was just scared. Like, who's he hanging out with? What drugs? Or is he gay? Like, she just needed to know what was going on. You know what? She would call me so much that I actually changed. From back then, she's been saved in my phone as Ian Thorpe. All right, because I didn't want my friends to know my mum's calling me. So whenever it would ring and my friends would see it, but sometimes I'll be on my phone looking at something and they're like, Ian Thorpe's calling you, and I'll be like, oh yeah, we're kind of seeing each other, and like I'll take the phone. I'm like, Ma, what do you want? Oh my gosh, wait, can I do something?
For sure.
You know what? I'm gonna get her to call me so you can see Ian Thorpe call, and his face comes up too. This is how long it's been, but I have to call her first to say call me. Sure. All right. I'm just gonna pretend there's something wrong with my phone and be like, Ma, I need you to call. Wait a minute. I think this will be funny for you to see. Έλα, μα, τι κάνεις?
Καλά, εσύ.
Καλά, κοίταξε.
Έλα.
Το τηλέφωνο μου έχει ένα πρόβλημα. Δεν βλέπω το νούμερο όταν κάποιος παίρνει. Μπορείς να μου πάρεις μόνο να δω. Άμα δείχνει. Okay.
Εντάξει.
Alright,
Έλα,
bye. Alright, she's gonna call me. I said, there's an issue on my phone. I need you to call so I can see if it shows who's calling, because it doesn't show. Ian Thorpe is calling me. See how much it scarred my mind being Greek and all that? Like, it's done shit like this to me. Let me answer. She's probably like, Ella, δείχνει εντάξει. Alright, bye. So, they were that strict on me. I thought I could never come out to them. I could never possibly come out to them. And one night I lied. They would never let me sleep over anywhere. We got into a huge argument for her to let me sleep over at my friend's house, this Asian girl, right, called Trin, who lived like a few blocks down. And I lied that I'm going to sleep over there. They knew her, so they were like, it got to a big fight before they could say yes. And they're like, your father has to take you. I'm like, it's just a few fucking blocks down, but okay. So they like, your father has to take you. They really needed to make sure I was gonna be there and do what I'm doing and all that shit. Anyway, I was seeing a guy at the time, and he was one of the first gay people I met, and he took me to a club. I was underage. I saw all these gay people for the first time in my life. It was overwhelming. It was a great experience. And it was pretty late, and we were leaving the club, and we were walking. So this is when I lived in St. Albans. He lived in Springvale, so that was pretty far from home. And my mother calls me. It was like maybe 2 or something in the morning, and I'm like, I have to answer this, because if I don't answer, they're gonna go crazy. And I answer it, and she can hear that I'm out on the street walking. And she's like, Thodore, you know, where are you? What are you doing? I'm like, Ma, what do you want? I'm at Trin's house. I told you. I go, don't call, everyone's sleeping. And I hung up on her. And then she calls back straight away. I'm like, oh, fuck. She knows. She's like, Thodore, like, it doesn't sound like you're at Trin's house. I'm like, Ma, I told you everyone's sleeping. Don't do this to me. You're going to ruin my life. And I hung up, and I go to the guy I was with. I'm like, oh, my God. Okay, they know something's up, and I'm so far from home right now. I was getting like panicky to the max, and I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, I have to come up with a really good, I don't know what the fuck was going through my head. I was just trying to build up something to be like, seriously, okay, you don't know my parents. They're gonna do something stupid and go to Trin's house at 2 a.m. in the morning, wake up the whole fucking family and be like, where's Theo? And guess what? They did that. They fucking did it. My father went there. He woke up the whole family and then he calls my mobile screaming. And my father never talks to me. So for him to be screaming at me, he's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is all in Greek." He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm at Trent's house bar." Like, fuck, man, leave me alone. And he's like, "You're not there. I'm here." And I'm like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." I hung up. Oh my God. And I go to the guy I was with. I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm like, I can never go back home. I have to live with you from now on. And he's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "You don't understand. My life's over, okay?" And then I was really angry, and I knew my mother had sent him because she's always the one to be like the detective. So I fucking call her back. I'm like, "Ma, why the fuck did you send Bar over to her house and wake them up? Now this is so embarrassing for me. How am I gonna blah 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 blah?" And she just cuts me off, and she's like, "Thordere, do you have a boyfriend?" And then I quickly go, "Yes, and I'm never coming home. I know you don't love me anymore." Blah blah blah. And I hung up, and then she calls back, and she's like, "Thordere, it's fine. Just come home in the morning." And then I was like in full shock. And then I gave the phone to the guy I'm with. I'm like, "My mother just like full accepted that I'm gay. Can you say something?" And he's like, "What am I going to say?" I'm like, "Just fucking take it." And I was just trying to process what just happened because for years I was building up, like I told you, mentally building up for me to run away, end my life, something, because I knew in my head that my family was just not going to accept it because of all the things I heard growing up. You know, my father would once sat me down and told me, like, guys are not meant to do this, guys are not meant to like these things, blah blah blah. And I was just scared. I was scared to death for my life. And I don't know what happened to them, but your family comes to terms with it. At the end of the day, you're their fucking child. And they're gonna look like some pretty bad humans if they disown you to the world. So they're not gonna do that.
A gay son is better than no son.
Exactly. I think my mother always wanted a fucking daughter, so I'm the closest thing she has to one, I'm like her best girlfriend. I do her fucking hairs, like, come on. I blow wave her hairs. She loves it,
Tell me about the worst person you've ever met.
The worst person I ever met is also the best person I ever met because they were a great fucking lesson and they taught me so much. So I don't want to see them as the worst person, even though they fucking did really awful things to me. I'm choosing to forgive and let go because the moment you forgive, you let go of it and you start to see, you know what, I learned so much from this. I think the worst fucking person I ever met was Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, fucking Lindsay Lohan. She's a fucking cunt and a half. Do you know, I was at Crown Casino and I was pretty close to her, like a meter away. And I saw her and I'm a huge fan. I have a tattoo of the fucking bitch here as Jesus. Yeah, Lindsay Lohan as Jesus. You know, my mother would kill me if she knew I got Lindsay Lohan as Jesus. And this bitch, when I saw her in real life, she's gorgeous. She's so fucking pretty in real life. And I was like, I was taken back and I was just like, "Oh my God, Lindsay Lohan." I go, "I'm such a big fan." And she was looking at me like I was asking her for drugs. She was just like, and kept walking. And her security guard kind of pushed me aside and I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, first of all, bitch, no one likes you anymore. You have no fans, Be kind to whatever fans you have left because they're the only ones rooting for you right now. You know what I mean? And that just like really ruined everything for me because she was like the American sweetheart at one point. I grew up with her, Mean Girls and all this shit. And she did that to me. Oh my God. Fucking Paris Hilton is better than you, Lindsay Lohan. Paris Hilton, every fan she makes an effort with. That poor bitch got off a flight at midnight. I was at the fucking airport waiting for her. I had a full cute moment with her. She took photos with me. She talked to me. I was on the cover of Daily Mail with her. That was so fucking mad, and there was so many people there, and she made an effort to get a photo with every single fucking person. I've seen her about 3 or 4 times in my life, and she's always talked to her fans, everything. They're the ones that keep you alive and still going. Lindsay Lohan, you're a flop and a half. And yeah, maybe I did look at you like I was asking. No, she looked at me like I was asking for drugs. Well, maybe, bitch, you had the best drugs going out. You rack up like there's no tomorrow. Fucking hell. Don't look at me like that. Anyway, sorry. That was the worst famous person I ever met, so...
Never met your heroes, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you've met a few of them, and
I've
a
met
few
a
of them
few
are
of them,
great.
but she fucking ruined it for me.
What advice would you have for closeted ethnic men?
Well, I think I just answered it before. You're probably, live your truth, really. Because I feel like not only, I know men who got married who are closeted and all that to women and have kids and all that, and it actually does more damage. You know what I mean? And like, I think that RuPaul says is like, as gay people, you get to choose your own family. So if you actually get disowned and all that, there's a community there that's gonna love you and be your family. You find your people. You know what I mean? But live your truth, because you get one shot at life, and you don't want to go through your whole life living in the closet. It's hard for some, I understand, but the most important thing in life is to live authentic. And a lot of the time, your parents come around. I thought forever that my parents will not accept it, and at the end of the day, you're their child, and they're not going to get rid of you. They come around, believe it or not. You may be living in fear thinking, oh my gosh, I can never tell them, it'll kill them. But you don't, one day they're going to go, and you're going to feel like they never knew you either. So live your truth, really.